You're listening to the Prosperity Report Love and Money podcast. Find out what every couple needs to become a winning team in love and money. We bring you actionable ideas from expert therapists and experienced married couples, helping you stay happily married longer. Stay tuned until the end. We'll leave you with a tip you can start using today in our 5-minute activation segment. Now here's your host, best-selling author, speaker, and psychotherapist, Kiné Porter.
Hey guys, guess what? Today is my birthday, and this is the last episode of the year. I want to tell you 3 things. One of them is about a gift I'm giving away to you for my birthday. First, I want to say thank you. Thank you so much for listening to each and every episode. I feel so honored. I have totally enjoyed hanging out with you guys and the guests. And I'm looking forward to next year. I hope you are too. Next year, we have some exciting things planned. We're offering weekly episodes and more freebies. In this episode today, I feature our new co-host, Andy Hill. He'll be a regular on the show next year. Once a month, he and I are going to do a Q&A session at the end of every month, starting with this month. And we're going to answer your questions around love and money. I will give the female and relationship professional point of view, and Andy will give the married man point of view. Andy has his own podcast called Marriage, Kids, and Money. So he'll tell you all about that during this episode. In the meantime, if you have questions, you can submit your questions at VIP@KinéQuarter.com. That's VIP, like very important person, at KinéQuarter.com. Now, I also want to mention that every year my company, Presidential Lifestyle, hosts a New Year Masterclass on January 2nd. This year, the class is Love Your Life. You know how sometimes you feel unhappy because social media is lying to you, making you feel like everyone has the key to happiness except you. You compare your life to other people's lives and you feel left out and not good enough. Well, this masterclass is going to show you how to stop comparing and start repairing your mindset, your money, your relationship, your life. We're going to help you discover why you are unhappy sometimes. And we'll give you actionable steps that you can start using immediately to gain love, money, and overall life satisfaction. Join me and one powerful group of lifelong learners on a transformational journey to feeling more confident financially and romantically. Get the love and money you deserve and desire in 2009. The journey starts on January 2nd with our Love Your Life Masterclass. Then it'll flow into a 21-day crash course in prosperity. And if you like, you can then join the Prosperity Club. Go now and register at KinéQuarter.com/masterclass. Or you can wait till this episode is over. Check the show notes. All the links will be there. Now, here is the last thing I want to mention. So I told you it's my birthday and I'm giving you a gift. Well, this episode is brought to you by Medieval Times. They gave me a special treat for my birthday and offered one of my listeners a free family 4-pack. Just the other day, I went to Medieval Times to celebrate my birthday and had a blast. You can check my Instagram and the blog post for pictures and details. So much fun. You gotta check it out. So here's the thing. In order to get in the contest and win the prize, there are a few things you gotta do. It's all listed on the blog post. So go to KinéQuarter.com/gift and you'll get all the details you need to find out how to get your free gift. Now, there'll only be one lucky winner, but it might as well be you, right? So that's all. Let's get into today's episode. Oh, and the last thing I want to mention, this is our last FinCon episode. So if you heard some of the other FinCon episodes, there was background noise in them. Well, there's a little background noise in this one too. So bear with us, but it's a lot of energy. It was a lot of fun. And I really wanted to take the time to interview with Andy while I had him in front of me. So thanks for listening. Enjoy the show. See you next year. So let's start first by thanking Ally Bank for sponsoring this live podcast because we're at FinCon 18 and Andy and I are face to face. Normally we would do this over the internet, right?
Yes, we are IRL, as people are saying, in real life.
In real life.
I saw that acronym on some text. I'm like, what is IRL? Oh, yeah, in real life. We're going to meet in real life. I love it.
So we finally get to sit down and have this conversation, which I'm excited about. So I want to jump right in to our questions. And we're going to start with a really cool question about Carbyne. So let me just read it to you really quickly. It's time for me to buy a new car. My credit is about 650. Should I go to a credit union or a bank? What interest rate should I expect? Is no money down okay, or should I put money down? Is there anything I can do to raise my credit score quickly? I am a woman. Is it true that a woman shouldn't go to a dealership on her own? Is it best that I bring my partner? He is busy, and a lot of times I don't want to bother him because he's going to want to get in it and do the thing. So I feel like I should be able to do this on my own. So
Kenna, you said one question. That was 75
that was
questions.
like 16. But I think we can answer them all just because of all of the stuff that we are.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
So you want to give it a shot?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
So, I mean, the first thing that comes to my mind is just based on some personal experience is that I would love the question supplier to maybe not consider going down the road of financing in general and just seeing what we could do to maybe get a car that is used. Yeah, I know it's not sexy to get a used car, but the way new cars depreciate immediately when you buy them, 10% drop right when you take it off of the lot.
Yeah.
I think it's a 50% drop after 3 years, 60% drop after 5 years. So maybe looking at something that's 5 years plus old might be a better way to go and reframe the whole situation of the question as opposed to what can I do to raise my credit score? What can I do to buy something in the near term for cash? Yes. And then what are the savings goals to get there? I would love for that to be the part of the conversation.
Yeah, that is a great part of the conversation. Yeah. So let's say, for instance, she considered that, but she's like, well, no, I don't want to go that far. And let's say she doesn't get a brand new car. Maybe it's 2 years old.
Yeah.
650, her credit score. These days, I'm thinking, 7-8% around 650?
Yeah.
So that's what you can expect, because that was one of her questions.
Yep.
And then she asked about a woman going to buy a car on her own.
I like the look that you gave me when you started to read that.
Yes.
I'm going to leave that for you. I think you're excited about that one.
You know, I'm a big believer that you need to ask for assistance when you need it. First of all, it's always best to have two people. Even if it's another woman going with you, it's just best to have two people. There are things that you're not going to see or think of that the other person will. So that's first. Second, a lot of times the salespeople are male. These days, there are a lot more female salespeople than they used to be, but a lot of times they're male. And there may be some intimidation there. So having another male to stop that intimidation, can be helpful. Even if the male doesn't say much. It sounds like her partner is going to get all in and maybe she is going to feel embarrassed by some of the things that he's going to say or do. But even if they're quiet, it's sometimes good to just have them there.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts?
I think it's a smart move if somebody feels like they need somebody to be there to make them feel comfortable through the process. Because buying a car, that's not fun. Mm-hmm. You feel like you're going to get sold something you don't really want to buy. Are they really giving you the good deal? Yep. One thing that I would add to that is this something they could do together online before you even go. Checking out something like TrueCar, where you go on there and you learn about the prices people are buying for the vehicles that you are interested in. A used car, making sure that you are getting a good value and making sure that you're going in there with that TrueCar information and saying, hey, that's nice that you're trying to sell it to me at this price. This is what people are buying it for, so that you are taking the power in your hands before you go in there. And you could do that together as a couple too. So you're both going in there with the pride and the power, so you're not getting intimidated, because the car buying process can be icky and it makes people not feel good, or you don't want to walk out of there buying something tens of thousands of dollars and then feeling like, man, did I do the right thing? So do your research beforehand. Something like TrueCar could really help you out.
Also, what I'd add, because I think those are great points, and I want to add that think about the time of year that you're buying a car, because sometimes are better than others. So if you can wait to one of those good times to buy a car, and there are articles out there, I'll try to find one and post it in the show notes. But maybe just having the right time to buy a car so that you are getting a good deal, because sometimes a good deal comes with the timing that you buy it.
Those seasonality cycles too, buying near the end of the year when they're trying to hit their sales quota, that kind of helps, gives you a little more bargaining power.
So 2 things that she mentioned that I want to touch on before we go to the next question. And one is there anything I can do to raise my credit score quickly? Raising your credit score quickly is not likely. That's really tough. Credit takes time to build. Now, if you want to say if there's something you can do to lower your credit score quickly, that'll happen fast. Yeah. You put one late payment and you lose like 50, 100 points. But the other way around, credit takes time to build. So don't try to rush your credit score. Just do the right things over a long period of time. Pay your bills on time. Keep utilization low. That kind of thing, and your credit score will go up.
I think you hit it there. Yeah. That's exactly right.
So the other thing I wanted to mention was the down payment thing. Yeah. Like no money down. Mm-hmm. Oh, I just hate that term.
Got to have some skin in the game, right? And then when you're getting the financing, they want you to have some skin in the game as well. Otherwise, you're going to be paying for it with the rate too. So if there's any way that you can set some goals with your partner to save over the next couple of months as you're heading into this, what's a reasonable savings goal that you can do that might hurt a little bit if you guys look into some areas of your budget that maybe you want to trim back so that you can get a car that you like, that you're excited about? That's a good way to do it.
That is great points. And I'll say this, when it comes to down payment, at least put the fees, like pay those. Don't finance fees. Yeah. And I don't think people understand that is what they're doing. But there are certain fees that go along with buying a car, like taxes and, whatever else other fees go in there.
Right.
Don't finance fees. Yeah. So if nothing else, at least have the money to pay those fees. And then if you want to put more just to lower some of that principal, even better, because then if you're going to have a car note, then you at least can lower that car payment.
I love it. Well, these are hopefully helpful answers, and we got to hear back at the end of the story what you guys went with. So please contact us back.
That's a good point. Yes. Let us know so we're
at the edge of our seats finding out what happened.
What'd you buy? Did you get it?
Right.
How much? Did you put some down?
Right.
Yeah. So hopefully you listen to our advice, what we feel like is good advice. And if you have more questions, please send them in. Or if you're buying a car and maybe we didn't answer a question you're thinking of, please send that to us. Yeah. So we're going to move on to the next question, which is pretty juicy.
Oh, yeah. This is where it gets steamy.
Most of these questions, just so you guys know, are coming from the Facebook group. But this question is like a friend of a friend kind of question. So I'm in a long distance relationship, and my girlfriend and I often send explicit text messages and pictures to each other to keep the connection when we are apart. I'm divorced, and I also have a 15-year-old daughter that I have joint custody of. She is with me a few days out of the week, and I had a good relationship with her, and my girlfriend does too. My daughter was going through my phone without my knowledge or permission, and she got to see these explicit text messages. Now, she has gotten in trouble for this before in the past from the dad and the mom. So she saw the racy text messages and pictures, and she was devastated. She will not take my calls. She will not come to my house. I have apologized to her, and I have also tried to discipline her about going through my phone, but she is so upset that she will not comply. I don't know how to reach her, and I don't know what to do. I blamed my girlfriend at first because I didn't want to do this thing. She talked me into it. However, I know it's not her fault. I want to repair all of this and move on so that we can all kind of start over. Maybe you can provide some direction.
Oof, that's a rough one.
That is. So it's a lot of stuff going on here. Yeah. So there is the father-daughter thing.
Yep.
There's the girlfriend thing, the relationship thing. There's probably some ex-wife stuff there too that's
Absolutely.
not said, because I speak silence. Like what you leave out,
exactly.
I can speak that
Who
way.
the other party is, yeah.
Exactly. So where do we start? I think.
Oh man, I think that he's hurting a lot right now because he's in a confused spot. But I think he has to put himself in the shoes of his daughter, because she's in a very vulnerable spot and a point in her life where she's going through some development, some change, some adolescence.
Yep.
Not only did her mom and dad get divorced, but now he's getting some messages from a new woman in his life that she might see that as, threatening to her, to the love that she wants to get from her father. So I see his position. I'm, feeling for him, but I'm also feeling for the daughter right now.
Yeah.
I think he has to put himself in her shoes, and based on these past situations where they maybe have had some tiffs, I know that sometimes I just have to give my wife some time to chill, because sometimes I like to want to repair it right away. Because as males, like you and I talked about this before, we want to repair it right away because we're fixers, right? Mm-hmm. But sometimes my wife reminds me, maybe not with so much with words, but she needs some time to chill, to think about it, to be away, and that's okay. And I know that as men, we want to fix it right away.
Yeah.
And so, that's the first thing that pops into my mind is just maybe a little bit of time.
Yeah, I like that. That's a great point. And also, I would add that maybe the daughter is now seeing her father in a way that she didn't want to see him, like in explicit pictures. Yeah. You're like, what? Not my father.
Yeah. He really PG'd up the question for us.
Yeah, I did. Because we can imagine what that was like.
Oh, yeah, exactly. Right.
So also, I would mention that, because I was going to say something opposite of what you said.
That's why we're doing this show today, because we do have opposite opinions. That's good.
I was going to say, go into it not necessarily talking about discipline, but really getting to understand what she's feeling. But you do have a great point. Maybe she doesn't even know what she's feeling. So if he goes in trying to get her to talk, she may not be able to. She may not be able to articulate what she's feeling. Yeah. So maybe time is a good thing. But as soon as that time is up, we have to talk about what is happening.
Yes.
And something that jumps out at me when I say I speak silence, they said that this is not the first time that she's gone through somebody's stuff.
Yeah.
She's obviously done it with her mom, because it's the mother, and then his stuff before. Mm-hmm. So when that happens, as a therapist, I'm thinking, what is missing that she's going searching? Mm-hmm. What is she curious about? What does she not have? Because usually that's around protection. Sure. When we're going digging deeper, we're trying to protect ourselves from some surprise that we think might happen. Or we're missing something and we're trying to make a connection. Yeah. I'm all alone. I'm by myself. I'm bored. So I'm going deeper into something that's going to excite me. Oh, shoot. That was way more excitement than I wanted to have.
I didn't want that much excitement. I don't want to see my dad in that position. Whatever position it is. Literally. Well, yeah. I'm also thinking about something that he says at the end where I didn't want to do this. I kind of blame my girlfriend, but I don't blame her. It seems like he's fighting that a little bit. But I think maybe this is the time to have a little bit more of a serious conversation with the girlfriend, too, being like, hey, I know this is fun. I like it. I'm enjoying it. You're enjoying it. But right now, I've made a commitment to being a father first. So maybe we just need to chill on this for a little bit. Maybe we can find a different way for us to communicate. And maybe it's just not something on my phone. Maybe there's a different route. Maybe there's a different technology route to still have the excitement and a little fun, but it does not go to the cell phone. Yeah. I don't know what that is. I haven't explored it, but maybe that's just a different way to think about it. And I don't know. I'm really thinking about the daughter right now, because there's so much going on in our world right now where females are in really tough spots in our society. And this is a pivotal moment for him and his daughter to have some adult conversations too, to be like, hey, this is why I'm doing this. I love you, but this is why I'm doing this. And I don't know, maybe it's a time for him to have some adult conversations with her.
It maybe she rushed into it, like maybe he wouldn't have had it right now, but it's happening, it's here, and that's what life is about. It's about acting. You got to act. Absolutely. And now maybe he was hoping to have that conversation at 20.
Right, exactly.
5 years early, he has to have that conversation. But you're right. Having that conversation said, look, sometimes adults, especially adults that live in different places, and we don't know if he didn't say whether she was sexually active or not. And what he doesn't probably want to do is leave it open to her interpretation of what's happening. So it's really good points that you make, because if you're not talking about it, 75% of our thoughts are negative. That's what the studies say. So if 75% of our thoughts are negative, that little girl is thinking all kinds of negative things rather than having some reality about what's really going on. That my girlfriend lives a certain mileage away from me and I don't get the time to connect with her. And this is something we did, we thought was fun. And I'm sorry, because maybe even apologizing. He said he apologized, but maybe apologizing in the way that she needs to be apologized.
But he also threw the word discipline in there, so you know what kind of
we don't know what that apology was like. Exactly. Yes, and I tend to, and this is going to go into the male-female thing, but a male apology can sometimes be different than what a female wants out of an apology. Sometimes it's like, okay, it's done, it's over.
I said my sorry. Why aren't you forgiving me?
Exactly. But maybe what she needs is a different kind of apology that she didn't get. And that might be the conversation that needs to happen. But I do want to go back to what you pointed out. There's something there with him saying, I didn't want to do this in the first place, and now I'm doing it, and I blame my girlfriend. If he did blame her and that apology didn't come back right, that's probably sitting there on her heart somewhere. Even if she's not saying it because this is such a sensitive subject, she's probably waiting for him to like fix it and get it right before she says, now, wait a minute, sir, you blamed me for this and you're the willing party.
Yeah, talk about him getting in a fight with all three ladies in his life, right?
Not the life you want to create.
Right, exactly.
Yes. So I don't want us to go into our third question just because we might not be able to give it the time and the justice it needs. So what I like about your show and my show is that we're talking about a lot of different subjects, but they all kind of come down to one thing, and that is the life that we want to create. So let's talk a little bit about the life that we want to create by doing the shows that we're doing.
Absolutely. Well, my podcast is called Marriage, Kids, and Money, and I started that podcast, as we're talking about here, to help my family build our wealth. And by doing that, I would be taking care of my family. I have a calling, a feeling in my heart that I need to take care of my family. And by building our wealth and then finding people out there to interview that have done that, I get inspired by those folks, and then I take action in order to create the life that I've always wanted for my family. So that's what I'm doing on my show. Yeah,
and really similar. In the same way, I felt a calling. Like, I had no thought of doing a podcast. And then last FinCon, I met Steve Stewart and decided to do a podcast because I actually figured out that it was the way that I could reach a bunch of people doing what I do in office. I can reach a bunch of people at once globally with a message that is timely all the time. Like love and money, those two conversations are never old.
Those are conversations forever.
Exactly. Sometimes what I hear is that, oh, he doesn't talk, right? He doesn't tell his feelings, or I don't know what he's feeling. Oh, she talks too much. Can I just get her to quiet down sometimes? And so maybe helping couples find that balance on sharing and maybe not sharing everything, like holding some things back. That's why I created this podcast, but also that's why I created my course. So I know you have a course too, right?
Yeah, I have a playbook that I have on my website called the Young Family Wealth Playbook. And it comes from all of these interviews that I've done on the show, from all these self-made millionaires, personal finance experts, and I've collapsed into this free ebook that I have on my site. So if people want to check it out at marriagekidsandmoney.com, that'd be great.
Awesome. So at Marriage, Kids, and Money, of course, that'll be in the show notes. And just so you guys know, to say, we're going to be here once a month answering your questions. So get your questions to us. At the end of the show, I'll tell you exactly how you can do that. But I do want to mention that Andy has a podcast. So you want to listen to his podcast too, because the fun that we're having here, he's having over at his podcast every week.
Every Monday.
Yep. Every Monday. So yeah, go ahead and check out Andy's podcast, Marriage, Kids, and Money, because it's really good. I was on there. So
yeah, what was that, like a couple months ago now?
Yeah. So yeah, lots of fun, very knowledgeable. So I'm glad that we're able to do this because I think we can give a perspective like you from the marriage perspective, me from the therapy perspective, me from the female perspective, you from male.
Very different backgrounds, which is great.
Yeah. And people need that because, when you're answering these questions, there's always something that somebody else might have answered differently. So if we both are here answering questions, we may be able to get to a place where the listener is saying, yeah, that's me. That's exactly what I needed to hear.
Yeah, you have my complete permission to disagree with me as much as you want to. Vice versa, right? That'll make it fun.
It does. It makes it so much more fun. And it gives everybody listening more ideas.
Absolutely. Different perspectives.
Yes.
This is going to be fun.
It is. So we will see you guys next month and every month after that. And we want to thank Ally again for setting up this live podcast at FinCon. We definitely want to thank Steve Stewart for coordinating all this. He's an amazing podcast editor. So if you're thinking about getting a podcast, you really need to talk to Steve Stewart. Would you agree?
I would completely agree. He's a guru. I love him.
He is. I love him so much. So thank you guys. And we are out. Thanks, Andy.
Thank you.
This episode is brought to you by my course called Learn to Control the Controllable. If you'd like to learn how to control the controllables in your life, if you want to learn how to stop struggling and receive your life, your blessings with grace and ease, this is the course for you. Go to kinecorder.com/meditation-course to get involved. If you are struggling against the universe, forcing things, pushing, this is the course for you. It's really easy. You go to kinecorder.com/meditation-course. You'll download the Insight Timer app. It's free. And you'll get the course. It's just a few dollars for a big impact on your life. Watch your life unfold as you begin to have more self-awareness, self-acceptance, find confidence, which is my favorite thing in the whole world. It's time. Embrace this. It's here for you. So if you're ready to control the controllables in your life, go to kinecorder.com/meditation-course. I'll see you there. And don't let the word meditation scare you. I walk you through the whole thing and it's so easy. For just a few dollars, you can start controlling the controllable today. Hey guys, thanks for listening. If you want more love and money conversations, subscribe to this podcast. Also, tell your friends about us. I'll see you next episode. But in the meantime, head on over to kinecorder.com for more tips, tools, and resources. And go ahead and leave us a comment if you like. We'd love to hear from you. This show is not to replace professional counsel. The best advice comes from a professional you know. The topics discussed in this podcast are general in nature and are for entertainment and informational purposes only. We encourage you to meet with a professional to discuss your specific situation, whether financial or therapeutic. That's all for now. I'll see you sooner. Remember, no matter what anybody ever tells you, you can have wealth in all of its forms. Believe it, and you will soon see it.